with Braj Kripa Prabhu and others, we had the Vedic University booth. And somebody from other religion came. And she was talking. So what do? I said, like, we have to do sadhana. Said, no, wrong. No sadhana required. No effort required. Just accept. Yeah, that is true, but at least you have to do some, show the readiness. Nothing, you're illusioned. So now, man or a woman convinced against their will are of the same opinion still. So I said, okay, what do you want? She said, I will pray for you. So I said, okay, Maya, pray for me. If he is the same God as you are worshipping, I have no problem. Because in Bhagavad Gita, he has said, Abhyasa Yoga Yuktena. Abhyas is needed. We have to show our readiness also. So it's that sweet point in which we try, but yet believe that we are Hantan Pal. Nothing will happen on our own efforts. So it's very difficult, but that's the sweet spot of surrender. While we try, yet we know we are waiting for mercy. So as we are embarking on this journey of understanding diseased devotion, we are also praying to Lord that you shower your mercy, and everything is haywire here. Screws are dhila, nut bolt is loose, but give your mercy. You have to be always ready. अवगुण चित न धरो प्रभु मेरे अवगुण चित न धरो प्रभु मेरे अवगुण चित न धरो. So Surdas is telling that my avgun, you have to keep playing. My avaguna, don't take it too seriously. Chitta na dharo. Why? Samadarshi Prabhu Naam Tiharo. Samadarshi Prabhu Naam Tiharo. Chaho to par karo. Chaho to par karo. एक लोहा पूजा में राखत, एक लोहा पूजा में राखत, एक घर बधिक परो, एक घर बधिक परो. One iron, we sometimes use the iron objects and things in our worship. And some we use in Vadhik. Who is the Vadhik? Kasai. He also uses that. So, he is saying, Surdas Ji, सो दुविधा पारस नहीं देखत, सो दुविधा पारस नहीं देखत, कंचन करत खरो, कंचन करत खरो. If that iron is used in worship or is being used by a slaughter person who does the slaughter, the touchstone or the paras will not distinguish. It will make both into kanchan. So, Prabhu mere avaguna chit na dharo, Prabhu mere avaguna chit na dharo. Isn't that a wonderful prayer? That while we are trying, we are telling the Lord, Ease on me. I need your mercy also. I cannot clean myself on my own accord. What else he is saying? एक नदिया एक नाल कहावत, एक नदिया एक नाल कहावत, मैलो नीर भरो, मैलो नीर भरो. One stream is called Nadi, nice water, and one stream is called Nala. Well, we get amazing experience in the rainy season in Vrindavan, because when it rains, there is an achintya bheda bheda between the Nala water and the water, and everything gets mixed, and a good idea to wear short dhotis during that time. Ek Nala, one is the Nala, one is Nadia, and the Nala Melo. Melo means not the mellow, MELLOW, but the dirty water is there. However, जब मिली के दो एक बरन भय, जब मिली के दो एक बरन भय, सुर सरी नाम परो, सुर सरी नाम परो. Surasari means Ganga. So the water of Gangotri is coming, and all glories to the heartland of Uttar Pradesh. Dump everything to Ganges. That's a sad state of affairs. But she's still Ganga. Surasari, isn't it? Now he's saying, Ek Maya, Ek Brahma Kahavat, Ek Maya, Ek Brahma Kahavat, Sur Shyam Jhagaro, Sur Shyam Jhagaro. I know there is Purna Brahma, Krishna, and one is Maya. I'm trying to understand this, but I'm confused here. But what is impossible for you? Prabhupada would say, right? When Brahmanand Swami Maharaj first came to Srila Prabhupada, he was brought by a person called Michael Green. And Michael Green would little be, why is Prabhupada using these big tapes to record himself? Prabhupada at that time, he would use big tapes. And he was little doubtful about the usage of the microphone, but then Prabhupada explained that if it is used to sing the Bollywood songs and without any intention of pleasing the Krishna, then it is as good as material energy. But if it is used to glorify the Lord, like we are trying to do humbly, then it is in spiritual realm. So what is harm? What is impossible for you, right? That's our prayer. We use many things and we may be justifying it, but we may be using it in the material realm. But we pray to Krishna that it turns, it's spiritualized. Ab ki ber mohi par utaro, ab ki ber mohi par utaro, nahi pan jaat taro. Nahi panjat taro. Panjat, pani jat. I am unable to cross the water, but you can make the entire water into the puddle, hoof print of a cow, and then I can just jump and jump back. Prabhu more avagun chit na dharo. Prabhu more avagun chit na dharo. So with that sweet point in mind, we are entering the point of maximum effort as far as possible from our end. Everybody is individual. We can try what is maximum possible in our situation, but also maximum dependence. That's the sweet spot. It's like the train engine. I don't know, now they use it, but the steam engine, only 1% of the steam pushes, but it has to come to the 100% capacity. I think in cooker also something like that. We cannot say let it come to 98% and then. No, it has to hit 100%. But then the movement will happen by the only overflow. So here we try 100%. However, we still depend. So here we go to the third art form. First art form is Andha Bhakti. The cure is Shravana. Second art form is suspicious devotion, Sanshayatmika Bhakti. And the cure is associate with devotees who have modest devotion, who are simple, who ज़्यादा doubt नहीं करते. Okay? Now we come to the third. Ready? Blind devotion, suspicious devotion. The third is bland devotion. What? Bland devotion. Bland means namak rahit. Rasa vihina. What? Rasa vihina. No taste. Just a chore. It's like a food without a salt. Right? Saltless food, healthy people only eat. Even they don't like to eat. Namak has such a quality, salt, that it is invisible, yet it is most valuable. And sometimes that's why we say in Hindi, right, to show the commitment. मैंने आपका नमक खाया. Somebody said to a goli kha. Well, that goli is a confectionery goli. And sometimes in some tradition they also say that the karma transfers through namak. I have no shastric proof for it. But namak is the most important ingredient in food. And generally we are cautious from whom we are honoring the food. So we can link that the consciousness may be there somewhere floating in the namak. What happens when there is no rasa, right? We call it rasa vihina. It becomes very mechanical. Thank you, this helps. It becomes very mechanical. And after a while, even the basic practices might get dropped. There is a Jada rasa and a Chaitanya rasa. What is Chaitanya rasa? Chaitanya rasa is the spiritual rasa which we derive, which is what we are expecting as we practice devotional service. But then there is also some rasa, Jada rasa, which we obtain from material things. And maybe different activities, maybe food which is even not offered. Our conditionings are like that we get some rasa there also, but that is Jada rasa. Jada rasa is not sthai. Rupa Goswami said it is chapal. It goes and comes. However, spiritual rasa is sthai. But if the spiritual rasa is not there, then the tendency would be do the activities in look for Jada rasa. See the difference. Externally we may do the activities of bhakti, but the question comes, and if the person is still on high, where is the high coming from? Is it from the spiritual nourishment or from the other rasas which we may get as we are doing the activities, like fame, like puja, labh, pratishtha? Could be the tune is good, not the mantra. The mantra we are still not able to latch on, but the tune is good, right? So that is Jada rasa and not Chaitanya rasa. Bhagavad Gita explains about that even if we stop giving food to our senses, that's not the end of the story. We all know this verse, the higher taste verse. Vishaya vinivartante, Vishaya vinivartante, Niraharasya dehinaha, Niraharasya dehinaha. To the person who has nirahar, he has stopped taking, stopped ingesting. What happens? Vishaya vinivartante. The objects are not there. But Rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. The ras does not go. Now what is this ras? This is the Jada rasa, which we were used to getting as a result of engagement in material activities, correct? So the objects have gone, but the ras has remained. And that pushes us, right, to again and again. Like dopamine shots. In fact, a preacher was once confessing that he went and did a program. Everything was nice. Everybody was enthusiastic after the program, but he was not feeling the nourishment. And then he had to gouge on some donuts to feel the nourishment. Jadaras, the Chaitanya Ras is not there, but something has to replace the Ras, right? Because we are. Krishna is Raso Vaisaha, Mamai Vansha Jiva Bhote Jiva Loka Jiva Bhota Sanatana. So what are we also looking? Ras. Raso Hyevam Labdva Anandi Bhavati. That soul, when it gets the rasa, then it becomes happy. So if the spiritual rasa is not there, the material rasa will replace it. Oh, that's... Well, I think it should turn around. They are also there.
Window is there. Open the window.
As though Hawa will come. No, why don't we put it center and let it rotate? Okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. What's the central position? Good. And as a result of it, there is a struggle. Remember last time we talked about the struggle in the Andha Bhakti and Sanshayatmika Bhakti. Utsahamai stage, always high. One shloka done, but me to Pandit. Ek shloka hua, one Bhakti Shastri done, Shastri? So, Utsahamai. Then what was the other state? Ghanatarala. The day where the reading goes on nicely, me to Pandit. The day when it is tough going, I don't like to read. Ghana Tarala. And the third was Vyudha Vikalpa. Options, hopping in the options. And as a result of bland with the Jada Rasa and spiritual Rasa, when spiritual Rasa is not there, the fourth stage comes. It's called Vishaya Sangara. What? Vishaya Sangara. Sangara is a synonymous to Sangram. Sangram we know? Yuddha. Yuddha with what? Vishaya. The ras is there inside and it is dub 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 dub. It's pushing here and there, telling us to maybe take a peek, take a sip. It's a constant struggle. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur tells in Madhurya Kadamni, and we can perhaps relate with it, I relate with it. Purvabhyasataihi. Purvabhyas, there has been a past habituatedness due to which there is a yuddha, and sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. It's a constant struggle. So it's a Shastra is explaining that that's a situation. But after Vishaya Sangara, suppose we have also tried to fight and we are now, 10-1. One time we lose and 10 times we win. Then another stage comes, which is our Hriday Durbalta, the weakness of the heart. This is called Niyamak Shama. What? Niyamak Shama. Akshama means not capable. Niyam means rules. That's where Maya hits. Even though we are winning, but then are unable to follow the rules and regulation. Incapable. So as a result of bland devotion, first Vishaya Sangara, then Niyamak Shama really strangles us. So in one level, the spiritual rasa is not there. At the other level, spiritual rasa gets conflated with the material rasa. Conflated means confused. The Mahamantra is going, but the tune is more interesting than the Mahamantra. How to circumvent it? Why there is bland devotion? Acharyas tell us that we have to harness the Kriya Shakti. What? Kriya Shakti. Krishna has three energies: Ichha Shakti,
Ichha Shakti,
Jnana Shakti,
Jnana Shakti,
and Kriya Shakti. Kriya Shakti means creative energy. Oftentimes, the reason why it is bland, that we may not have found a very nice outlet, just single outlet for our creative needs in bhakti. We are all santanas of Brahmaji, right? He is our par Dada, par to the power of n Dada. He is the creator. We also have that ansh of creative energy. We like creating. Some may like creating in a very big way, some may like creating in their kitchens. But creation we must do, right? And if it is not done, it's not channelized, then there is certain blandness. Acharyas explain, devotees explain that if we can just find one limb of bhakti where our creative energy is channelized, then it spills over the other limbs also. Just one limb or one area where we can channelize what we are hankering for. A creative expression, a meaningful contribution, a meaningful seva, a meaningful way of connecting to Krishna. If that happens, we feel fulfilled, and that fulfillment then spills over to other aspects. Many devotees have faced that. There was one devotee who was going through very challenging times, and somebody suggested to them that maybe you can start a cooking channel. They were good in cooking. So they started a cooking YouTube channel and different recipes. And suddenly it was seen that the other things starts getting stabilized because they are finding meaning in this one particular activity. And this is their individual offering to Sri Krishna. They can connect. Now for some, it could be chanting throughout the day. For some, it could be Shravan throughout the day. And maybe they will use creativity of note making or summarizing in different ways in those activities. For some, it could be something else. But we have to find our own. How do we find that? Krishna gives the solution, both in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. We all know this was Swe Swe Dhikare Yanishta. Swe Swe Adhikar. Apne apne adhikar ya swabhav se. And we dovetail according to our adhikar, but not according to by seeing somebody else's adhikar. Because everybody is unique. They have a different way of expressing themselves. Some are introverts, some are extroverts. Some get strength in big crowd, some get social fatigue in a big crowd. So they can choose their own ways. Are what to speak about sadhakas? Even at sadhya levels, devotees are reciprocating with Krishna in different manner. We have Yashoda dealing with Krishna as, he's a very naughty boy, doesn't come on time, he has to be always reminded about his food. And we have gopis dealing in a different way. And of course, Madhu Mangal deals in a totally different manner. So there what happens is everybody gets normalized to one particular way. Will not work. Similarly, each of us will have to find out our way of channelizing our devotion. And that is through our swabhav. In Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada says something, and this might be instructive. According to our regulated principles, there are 9 departmental activities, and one should specifically engage himself in the type of devotional service. Mark these words. One should specifically engage himself, herself, in the type of devotional service for which he has a natural aptitude. What? Natural aptitude. For example, one person may have a particular interest in hearing, other may have interest in chanting, another may have a particular interest in serving in the temple. So these or any of the other types of devotional service should be executed in full earnestness, but according to the natural aptitude. This need of engaging in a very natural way is unique to all. And it's not only in our Krishna consciousness, but also in different religions. How many of you have heard Lord of the Rings? Heard about it? The number of Christians who were made by people reading the Lord of the Rings is phenomenal. The person, J.R.R. Tolkien, he wrote a novel called Lord of the Rings. In that he said the book was covertly Christian. I mean, he was not very explicit about it. But it turned out to be explicitly Christian. There are very lot of Christian themes in that. Now, other people perhaps during the time would have said, I mean, how it would impact the evangelization process, the preaching process. But he figured out his own niche, and he explained the principles of whatever Christian theology, etc., through the story of Gandalf and Mordor and Frodo Baggins. And here you go. So like that, we can also choose. I know a deaf and a dumb person who, in Mumbai, who became inspired to share the message of Bhagavad Gita online, creating a particular, I mean, right? Generally, those who are dumb, mute, they also turn out to be deaf, or the other way around, deaf then dumb also. They go side by side. So he has created a whole community to preach to such people. That is also told in our corporate life as well. If you see the mantra, have a good health, have a nice community, and have a creative contribution. Health, community, and creative contribution. Health is gone, I mean, we can't do anything. If there is no community to show what we are producing, or loved ones and who are loving you and you're loving them, then also nothing. And if there is no creative contribution, that also goes down. So this creativity is important. There was Purna Chandra Maharaj. He has written a book called Hidden Obstacles, Unspoken Obstacles in the Path of Bhakti. There he speaks, he is a good teacher, teaches Bhakti Shastri. So some years he thought, let me just get involved in cooking. So he was pursuing cooking, trying to make different recipes. That was not his nature. And after a while, there she Radhe. And it was his big realization that I am good in a particular activity. Let me do compounding of my rasa in that particular activity. Oftentimes, you may try different things. So our, you can say, energy also gets divided. But if we compound in a particular activity, it gives us compound interest, right? So this is our third type of deceased devotion called bland devotion, the rasa vihina bhakti. And the antidote for it is what? Find out one channel of creative expression which we can try. Do you all agree with that? Yes. Just one channel we need. And maybe for that we have to explore, try out different things. Prabhupada also said this in a letter to Karandar Maharaj. And this is a very unique letter. He says, our leaders shall be careful not to kill the spirit of enthusiastic service. What? our leaders should be careful not to kill the spirit of enthusiastic service. Now mark the next line, which is individual and spontaneous and voluntary. ISV. Which is individual, spontaneous, voluntary. So now it has to be individual, right? Different, some may be good singers, some may be good percussionists, some may be good cooks. We can't expect a cook to go in the other department, right? Or a percussionist enters the kitchen. So, individual. Then it becomes spontaneous. Now, spontaneous doesn't mean doing anything and everything and at whatever time. No, it is sahaj, it is natural aptitude. And then it becomes voluntary. Somebody does not have to force you. Correct? What does Prabhupada say? They should try always to generate some atmosphere of fresh challenges. What? Fresh challenges. But how can that happen? We are tied up in our lives. Sometimes we don't even know our natural aptitude. So what will help in finding us our natural aptitudes? We all can move some distance forward. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So how can we find that? We all need Jambavans in our life. Oh, Jambavan. We know Hanuman had forgotten all his powers, and everybody is thinking that we should jump over the ocean. And some are saying that I can jump but cannot come back. Somebody saying I can jump but I'll fall in the middle. But Hanuman is just very confused, he's looking like that. Yeah. But he's powerful. So Jambavan reminded him. Hanuman had a curse that he will forget and he will remember only when somebody would remind him. Like that all of us are cursed. We are Hanumans, but we do not know what we can do. So we need a Jambavan to remind us. And that's why we need facilitators. Who? Facilitators. Who will facilitate our journey. Fan the spark. Where the spark is, make us move in that direction. Alright? With that we end the third deceased devotion. What was the first? Andha bhakti or blind devotion. The cure is Shravan, remaining in touch with spiritual vibration. The second is suspicious devotion or Sanshayatmika bhakti. The cure is associate with those having modest devotion. And the third is bland devotion, tasteless, rasavihin. The solution is find one channel where you can creatively and devotionally express yourself, and of course find the Jambavan in your lives. He may be right in your family, or maybe your neighbor, maybe somebody you already know but haven't shared your heart. Maybe you just shared your heart, the other will tell, hey, you can do that, and maybe you can do that. Okay, because we sometimes cannot see ourselves in our frame of reference, isn't it? We need the others to view. Now we come to the last section of today, the fourth form of disease devotion. This is very interesting. It's very common these days, and its art form is also interesting. It is celebrity devotion. What? What? Celebrity devotion or Yashakankshi Bhakti. Yash Akankshi Bhakti. Akanksha means desire. Yash means fame. So, celebrity devotion. If we just stick to that particular activity which we have found, right? So let's we have gotten over the Andha Bhakti. Now we can see, we know the scriptures, okay? We have gotten over the Sanshayatmika Bhakti, so now we can move forward. Things are not holding us back. Our heart is bubbly. And third, we have found our channel. Sooner we'll become expert in it, right? Because anything you do for a good amount of time, you can make dosas blindfolded, isn't it? Or I saw that ad, roti, then roti went. Nobody saw that. Like they were making lachha paratha and they were throwing like that. Or the person was there, he had a jug and then he would pour it and then the glasses would get filled. Maybe that was AI duped. But we become expert in a particular activity. This is called the principle of compound interest. You keep doing something, we'll become expert. And then we will be recognized, right? Prabhuji, what a vada pav. We'll be recognized. Okay, somebody is good in vada pav. Prabhuji is good in everything. Prabhuji is good in everything. Maybe there is a request for the second dinner. There is a doha also. Karat karat abhyas ke जड़मति होत सुजान रसरी आवत जात है सिल पल परस्त ने गाड़ी हो गई गाड़ी छूट गई. So even the maybe cotton ropes or whatever silken ropes, even if we keep on doing the gharshan again and again on a sila, there will be dent. You just have to do again and again and again. In fact, the nature of bhakti is that it attracts the attention of people. Rupa Goswami says that. What are the 6 qualities of bhakti? We have read in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Kleshagni. The kleshas get removed. And Shubhada. Shubhada means what? It gives auspiciousness. What is wonderful auspiciousness in our lives? People like us. That's auspicious, right? People recognize us. We all need association, right? If nobody is giving a damn what we do, it will be very problematic to operate in the world. Shubhani Priranam Sarva Jagatam Anuraktata. This Shubhada means not only good qualities come, but people become attracted to us. There is some magic in bhakti because after all it is Shuddha Sattva Vishesh Atma. What? Shuddha Sattva Vishesh Atma. It's a combination of Samvit and Haladini. What? Samvit and Haladini. Samvit means awareness. The person is aware. So when dealing with an aware person is very heartwarming. Dealing with if somebody is absent-minded, it's not heartwarming. We all know that, right? And that's why we say in chanting, better be aware because Sri Krishna is there. So if a person is aware, totally collected and in front of you, it's heartwarming. And bhakti fosters that. Samvit. Second is Haladini. The person is joyful. The person makes you halka pulka. Who doesn't want to be halka pulka? Everybody wants to be halka pulka. So people get attracted. And it's now a very slippery slope. We are trying to be good in our service, but then recognition is coming. This may result to what we call bhaktyotha aparad. What? Bhaktyotha aparad. Our Rupa Goswami explains that Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That there is a punyot aparad. What are the obstacles, the different anarthas which we get in our devotional life. Through punyas, anarthas come because we may get so much facilities that we are always in moha and mahamoha. Or we may get dushkritotth, utpan anartha, from the bad activities and the other not so savory activities we would have done. We may be put in klesh-like situations, right? Many people say, and it is written in Bhagavatam also, that some of the papas lead to diseases. I've forgotten. Recently I was reading in Vishnu Chakri Thakur's commentary to 7th canto. It gave cause of tuberculosis as some papa. And then those who are addicted to alcohol, they get yellow teeth. Something like that. Different papas connected to diseases were given. So, Sukritotha, from the Sukriti, there are some anartha. Dushkritotha, from Dushkriti, which means papas, there are some anarthas. Then there is Aparadotha, we do the aparad, anartha is there. But then there is Bhaktiotha, from Bhakti itself. Why? Because all the facilities and the recognition is coming, so it may strangle the main creeper. Because there is a possibility of, which we call in English, hubris. What? Hubris. Anybody know the meaning of hubris? It means excessive arrogance. In Roman Empire, a person was hired. So when the emperor would walk, the person would tell in his ear, this is what I was searching, because it is, I think, Italian language. Momento mori, momento mori. What does that mean? Remember you must die, remember you must die, remember you must die. So this person has won the lands, right? So this emperor is going, so the person is reminding me, you're ordinary, you will also die. Remember, you are human, you are not God. You have, I'm now elaborating, this is in your caretaking, but you are not the proprietor. Amazing tradition, right? Imagine we also hire or we program what? ChatGPT. Momento mori Harivamsa Das. Remember, you must die. I believe we can use every 10 minutes or after every 20 or 30 minutes. Thamba. Pause. This used to happen in Orcha. Orcha is a land in Bundelkhand, near Jhansi. Jhansi is the place where Srila Prabhupada started the movement, League of Devotees. And Orcha is land where Ram Raja Sarkar is there, not different than the Ayodhya's Ram. This also is a place ruled by a king at that time. He was contemporary of Akbar, called Madhukar Shah. And Madhukar Shah's kingdom, they used to have a rule that after every 10 minutes or maybe 20 minutes, a gong would be sounded, and everybody would stop the activity and say what? Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram. Imagine we do that in our homes. After 30 minutes, pause, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Let's become LED lights and not tube lights. So, it is also said in Buddhism tradition, the sadhaka are asked to imagine they have a bird sitting on their shoulder. And every now and then, the sadhaka is asked to look at the bird and imagine the bird is saying, you might die soon. It's an exercise. It's a mindfulness exercise because it is accepting the existential situation. The pride gets into the head. Correct? And then superiority complex comes. And then it may become even hard to sit and hear. Right? Indeed, we all have our own likings, we all have our inclinations, we all have our favorites. But then, if suppose there is a situation where we can come and easily hear our friends or even somebody who is many years junior to us, why can't we? The pride gets into the head. And then rasa is curtailed. You must have heard about that person, Robin Williams. He was a comedian and he left the body some years ago as a result of depression. Some say committed suicide. He used to make people laugh, but he would come out of this arena of making people ROTFL, rolling on the floor with laughter, and then he'll tell this person, they are laughing, mujhe kuch nahi ho raha hai. I'm not feeling any rasa. I mean, how are they getting such benefit? So our acharyas tell us, if we are 20 years in Krishna consciousness, for instance, or 10 years, whatever, and then we find somebody enthusiastically dancing and they are just 1 year old in the temple, and we start asking the question, itna uchak kyun raha hai? Big problem, not with them, with us. Let me repeat. If we are many years in Krishna consciousness and we somebody who is very young and happily frolicking and being nourished in Krishna consciousness and being very enthusiastic, we ask the question, I think that is ati bhakti. I think there is a problem. There is no enthusiasm maybe here. Mark Twain said, it is better to deserve honors and not have them than to have them and not deserve them. It is better to deserve honors and then have them instead of having them and not deserving them. Because when the celebrity devotion comes, and nowadays it's a challenge because anything and everything gets recorded, right? I mean, this is okay, but imagine, right? 24-hour cycle, the clock is running and we have 24-hour videos. There are some videos like that, whole day videos, what's going on in day to day, a minute by minute activity. So, for ordinary souls, it is very difficult to remain collected in that situation. Then, it's always a performance mode, right? Because then person becomes self-conscious. And if the practice is not strong, there is a big gap between within and without, internal and external. This then again leads to another manifestation, kotinati. Now kotinati, there's a gap between the external and the internal. So it has to be pumped up, right? Our external is this, celebrity devotion. Internally is somewhere down. So the weight of carrying the external is crushing us. We want to show like that, so it's crushing us. But internally, there is no support. So what do we have to do in the middle? Eat gulab jamuns? What do you think we do? We may do.
Internalize more.
That would be good, but we pump up, right? Pump more, louder sermons, or maybe hammer others, so that this remains at least apparently a distance. Prabhupada and Acharyas tell us that if we find a male or a female bashing a female or a male bashing the female gender, or female bashing the male gender, saying that, then it may be the sign of attraction. Did you get it? So if a male is bashing the female gender, saying that, no, all useless, then it may be the flip side inside the heart. that there is an attraction. It's kutinati. Externally something else, but internally something else. So, what can be done? How can we ameliorate it? What do you think? Less 24 hours recordings? Yeah? So we can start to be comfortable with the off-real life. What? Start to be comfortable with off-real life. Real life is there, right? Real life or performance life. But there can be times in our lives, in our daily sadhana, where we are just by ourselves or with close devotees, and it's not performance. Is that rare these days? It's getting rare. Life is busy, and then we have to perform also. We may not get time for ourselves. That happy, light activity with some devotee in which, that's it, it's just Krishna consciousness. It's not recorded. What we discuss won't be out also. Okay? So being comfortable with the off real life and having a well-wisher, maybe one or many, with whom we can sit and genuinely ask, "Hum bhakt hain kya?" What? Having at least one person or with whom we can ask, "Prabhuji, बहुत नाटक हो रहा है. I think a lot of gymnastics. Let's shed all our masks, all our coats, all our caps and the capes. I think what lagi hui hai." Can we have that honest conversation with somebody? Like a person who has disease can never get treated if there is no doctor with whom he can reveal what are the symptoms, right? Then sub doctor, good luck. Healers, heal thyself. Looks like you are a healer, you will heal yourself only. So, what are the two solutions for celebrity devotion? Being comfortable with the off-real life. Is there a time where it is not a performance? Where it is not recorded maybe also? And secondly, having somebody with whom we can honestly talk about our struggles. So the first was Andh Bhakti. The cure was Shravan. Second is suspicious devotion, in which we keep doubt. Yes, in which we doubt and doubt and doubt and make our heart a doubt factory. And the cure and the antidote is to associate with those with modest devotion, simple heart. We talked the story of Anandi Bai, right? Third is bland devotion, finding an activity. And devotees have done that in their lives. There used to be a devotee in Kolkata called Dasa. His whole purpose in life was to do Granth Seva. What? Granth Seva. Preserving the scriptures. Now we have in ISKCON one book called Sri Krishna Leela Stava. You know that? It's first 45 chapters of 10th canto of Bhagavatam. This book is written by Sanatan Goswami, but it's in the form of 108 obeisances. This Krishna Leela Stava, which is so available now, was extinct. And he wanted to curate, he wanted to preserve. So he's sitting on the bank of a river and just praying, "O Sanatana, where I can find this book? This is the book, I'm not finding it." And on one day, he sees a pothi floating. This is a true story. Pothi floating on water. And he opens it and he finds Sri Krishna Leela Stava. Like that, he was not understanding the meanings of certain section of Madhava Mahotsava. Anybody knows what is Madhava Mahotsava? So the name is Madhava Mahotsava, which means Maha Utsava of Madhav. But actually the book is about coronation of Radharani as Vrindavaneshwari in Umrao Gaon. Not Umrao Jan. Umrao Gaon. In this Umrao Gaon, Krishna silently told all the Sakhis, I'll be most pleased if Radharani will be coronated. So the book should be Radha Maho Mahotsav. No, but the greatest pleasure is given to whom? Madhava. So this book is Madhava Mahotsav, written by Jiva Goswami. In fact, Jiva Goswami took a small idea from Vidagdha Madhava, in which Rupa Goswami coronated Radha as Vrindavaneshwari, and then told Jiva Goswami, you now expand on it. So he wrote an entire Grantha. But Haridas Das was unable to understand. He prayed and prayed and prayed. And as though somebody was releasing the information, it dawned in his heart and he understood the meaning as a result of praying. So who knows about him now? Maybe many of us didn't know about him. He was not frontliner. He was in the back end. And I think there are much more back end activities needed for few frontline shootings, right? Much more back end activities. Somebody would be worshipping, Jananivas Prabhu and Pankajangri Prabhu, right? They worshipped Radha Madhava so nicely, which inspired all the sannyasis and the preachers to go and preach. If the deities are not served, where will they bring the preached? Correct? So different devotees are... Somebody doesn't cook prasad, preaching might not go any bit longer. I was discussing, our Prabhu is there, Gaurang Chandra Prabhu, he was saying, let's remove the prasad and then find out the effects. True. So, acknowledgement received. So, back-end activity and front-end activity, all are important. Even in the companies, right? Remove all the back-end, all are just PMs. Who are you? Our company is a company of PMs, product managers. We don't code, we just talk and engage people. But the product, we need that. So, bland devotion is circumvented by finding our niche. What? Finding our creative devotional niche. And let me tell you, it can be as back-end as possible. In football we have, right? Forward, backward, what is the middle wale? Center. We can play a whole gamut, right? The fourth one is celebrity devotion. Yashakankshi bhakti. And why it comes? Oh, it has to come. You just be in ISKCON for a few years and we'll be called senior devotees. Doesn't it happen? Or if you get initiated, then Mataji. It happens, right? Even if we are initiated, those who are not initiated will treat us with respect. That's the way. It's called the saluting the rank, right? And it naturally brings, there's a possibility of hubris. Hubris means arrogance. How to circumvent it? Off the real. Just ordinary. The greatness of littleness. The littleness is very great. Dhanyam. And the second, what was the second solution? Have somebody catch him, tell, sab dump karne wala hu bhi main. And I have to be open with you. At least it would be nice to have such friendships. So this way we did 4 forms of deceased devotion. However, we all made a small disclaimer in the beginning that it's not that we are trying to move from disease to healthy just by our endeavor. Hindi mein there is a saying, Akela chana bhaad nahi for sakta. We are like chana. We're trying, but we need grace. And for us, the mechanism of asking that grace is what? Chanting holy name, isn't it? It's like the zip file. Click on it and it expands. It expands into Roop Madhuri, then Gun Madhuri, then Leela Madhuri, then Parikar Madhuri, then Seva Madhuri, like that. So, yes, we'll understand it, we'll try our best, but without leaving the shelter of holy name. And with that, we end with a beautiful song by Bhakti Vinod Thakur about holy names. I think harmonium slept. So this song is given in the sheet which have been shared. Hari bolo, Hari bolo, Hari bolo, bhai re. 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 Hari nama aniyache goranga nitai re. Hari nama aniyache goranga nitai re. Hari nam, they have brought, aniyache, they have brought Hari nam. Who? Gauranga and Nitai. Why did they bring Harinam? Because all the craziness which is going in the heart. Moder dukha dekhe re, moder dukha dekhe re, moder dukha dekhe re, moder dukha dekhe re. Moder, my dukha, unhappiness, dekhe re. Seeing our happiness, they have brought Harinam. Hari bolo, Hari bolo, Hari bolo, bhai re. Hari bolo, Hari bolo, Hari bolo, bhai re. Hari naam bina jive ranya dhana nai re. Hari naam bina jive ranya dhana nai re. Hari naame sudha holo jagai madhai re. Hari naame sudha holo jagai madhai re. Without Hari Naam, jivere anya dhan nai re. That's our dhan. The other dhan is fine. You can have it. We collect it, we invest it, we do service with it. But the main property of the devotees is Hari Naam. And with that Hari Naam, we are talking about few deceased devotion, but the example is given of whom here? Jagai and Madhai. Of course, now they are worshipable. So we have to be careful if we say, the Jagai Madhai ka udhar kar le. No, they are worshipable. Why? The example of Jagai Madhai is given here. Bado papi chilo re, bado papi chilo re, bado papi chilo re, bado papi chilo re. Hari bolo, Hari bolo, Hari bolo, bhai re. Hari bolo, Hari bolo, Hari bolo, bhai re. Moder dukha dekhe re, moder dukha dekhe re. Moder dukha dekhe re, moder dukha dekhe re. Hari naam aniya che gorang nitai re. Hari naam aniya che gorang nitai re. Miche maya badha hoy जीवन कटाई रे. Miche means waste. Maya Badh, being captured in Badh, Maya. What I am doing? Katna. Krishna does pastime, we do time pass. काट रहे हैं, we जीवन कट रहा है. कैसमें, किसमें, in what ways जीवन कट रहा है? आमी आमार बोले रे, आमी आमार बोले रे, आमी आमार बोले रे, आमी आमार बोले रे. मैं और मेरा, मैं और मेरा, in that only I am doing my time pass. आशावशे घूरे घूरे और कोठा जाए रे, आशावशे घूरे घूरे और कोठा जाए रे, आशावशे घूरे घूरे और कोठा जाए रे, आशावशे घूरे घूरे और कोठा जाए रे. आशावशे, in the vash, control of asha, घूरे घूरे means, in ghure ghure here means here and there, wandering here and there. I'm just going, and where should I go next? There is no end. And he says to explain this, Ashar Shesha Nai Re, Ashar Shesha Nai Re, Ashar Shesha Nai Re, Ashar Shesha Nai Re, no end. That's why Saint advised us to do a graceful exit. Because there is no end, it keeps on increasing. I often wonder, they don't settle up for one version of iPhone, right? Maybe they plan it in a way that next year the more GBs will be consumed in the update and the performance is low, so voila, you have to get another. And now, earlier they were small, now big, now slap size, right? Asha Shesha Nai Re, Asha Shesha Nai Re, Asha Shesha Nai Re, Asha Shesha Nai Re. Hari bolo, Hari bolo, Hari bolo bhai re. Hari bolo, Hari bolo, Hari bolo bhai re. हरि बोले देव भाई आशा मुखे छाए रे, हरि बोले देव भाई आशा मुखे छाए रे, हरि बोले देव भाई आशा मुखे छाए रे. Now he's telling, but don't worry, the holy name is there directly in the face of material realm. Is go and chant. Nothing will happen. Nirasa to sukho re. Then he says, Bhoga, moksha, vancha chadi, Hari Naam gai re. Yes, we may have different dealings and we have to act in a way and we are diseased, but Hari Naam has not to be left. In fact, that's the first, most difficult thing to be picked up when somebody takes to devotional life. And the easiest thing, first thing which gets dropped, isn't it? But Harinam has not to be left. And now he says in the end, नाचे जेओ नामेर गुने ओ सब फल पाए रे, नाचे जेओ नामेर गुने ओ सब फल पाए रे, तुच्छ फले प्रयास छेड़े रे, तुच्छ फल प्रयास छेड़े रे, विनोद बोले जाए लोए नामेर भलाई रे, विनोद बोले जाए लोए नामेर भलाई, नामेर भलाई छेड़े रे, नामेर भलाई छेड़े रे, नामेर भलाई छेड़े रे, नामेर भलाई छेड़े रे. Trying our best to remove the offenses as much as possible, we take shelter of the holy name. That is not to be given up. And so he sings loudly, Hari bolo, Hari bolo, Hari bolo, Hari re. 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 श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय. आगामी श्री भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर डिसअपियरेंस डे टुमारो की जय. निताई गो प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि. So we are on time, we ended on time, but now up to you. Questions, reflections, suggestions. Anything which stuck with you want to share? Yes, Akhila Prabhu. I can repeat, yeah.
I had one question regarding you mentioned.
No, that's.
You mentioned recognition.
Come again?
Recognition.
Recognition.
What's the mood and how do we handle recognition or praise and devotion?
Yeah, so the question is, recognition is natural, it will come. Just stick around, will be considered maybe pure devotees also. So, we pass on the recognition as soon as possible to our acharyas. And the comfortable we are off-reel in our own sadhana, and we look forward to that sacred space, that acts as antidote. Otherwise, the whole day would be hankering after that recognition, right? It gets addictive, isn't it? So, the solution to addiction is what? The anonymous, right? We have for the Alcoholic Anonymous, right? De-addiction program. What do we do in the de-addiction program? First, stay away from that thing which causes addiction. So, off-reel, comfortable in your sacred space. So, when you get it, pass it on. It's not yours. Just see how everything what we are doing is the mercy of the acharyas. I mean, the vesh which is given to us, the beads, the bead bag also, the kanthi mala, I mean, none of us knew about it. It's all given to us by our acharyas. So, looks like it is by their strength only we are doing devotional service, right? And maybe somebody else is praying, so we are sticking it around. But that example is given, right? The cart is moving and the dog is under the cart and the dog is not touching the cart is moving and the dog thinks, it's because of me. So again and again, reminding ourselves, passing on the praise, but most importantly, being comfortable in our own sacred space, just with us and Krishna. Thank you. Okay. More questions, thoughts, comments, reflections? Prabhuji, we remembered you.
I externally participated. So, Prabhuji, question the various types of bhakti that you described.
Yeah.
Is it possible to correlate that with person in the mode of Sattva, Guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna?
Yeah. See, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas are very broad categories. In fact, in Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, then we can have another subcategories which are the anarthas, right? So these anarthas actually are in the material plane, right? So material plane is this topmost is modes. The modes influence the different anarthas. So for example, moha is in the tamas, lobha, kama, krodha come under what? Passion. What categories we are describing? These further anarthas are creating a particular mode. We are discussing this so that sometimes difficult, right? Prabhu, suffering from lobha. But where to hit it, right? Lobha, kama, they sometimes appear too difficult to catch. So this is almost like homeopathy. So in homeopathy, we art like the symptoms. What are the symptoms? Do you sneeze after the sleep or before the sleep? I sneeze. But those of you who have experience either treating as a homeopathic physician or going to a homeopathic physician, you know what we are talking about. Symptoms. So lobha, kama, anartha, if they mix together and generate some symptomology, and that's what we are creating these 6. These are not, by the way, the only ones. We can come up with a myriads of symptoms, isn't it? Like you feel better before the shower or better after the shower, that's another thing. So, modes, anarthas, and then these, you can say, complex symptoms. But they are easy to identify, isn't it? We can see in our lives, oh, bhakti is appearing to be bland. Or after a while I think, wait, I don't hear and go to hear any of my peers' classes. Well, I don't hear anybody else's classes. So something is wrong there. Or the new person is enthusiastic. I don't feel I'm enthusiastic. Or I'm doubting everybody. I don't have any friends because everybody is damned. Damnation by half praise. So this we can identify. Suspicious devotion, blind devotion, bland devotion, and celebrity devotion. 2 more are remaining, which we will be doing on Thursday. So here is the rubber meets the road. So it's easily identifiable. Does that help you? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Derived from Madhurya Kadambini. Okay,
So,
thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
We love Vada Pav.
So on the similar line that Prabhuji asked, right? So I think whatever 4 bhaktis we discuss is only applicable to the Kanishta Adhikari. So how does, like, is there anything like in the Uttam Adhikari, how symptoms
Well,
like this?
Okay. Again, fifth. Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama, there are also various ways of describing them based on Shraddha, based on dealings with the devotees, based on efficacy to convince others. So there are these different gradations. These can affect even the Madhyamas, right? Anybody who is not fully purified can get affected. Now, if you want to do Khijstan and do a mapping, right? Okay, which of these deceased devotion fall in the category of Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttamadhikari, I think that will be too much of a stretch, because if we are taking Uttama Adhikari as one who is Adhikari for Uttama Bhakti, but he has not been fully purified, then in the domain of anarthas, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So what causes these different forms of...
Yeah, modes.
Okay.
Modes and modes. Anarthas, the first level anarthas like Lobha, Kama, envy,
those are the
Matsarya,
main-
Moha. Yes.
Like bland devotion,
Yeah.
what
so,
would you contribute it?
So bland, there is one pramad in it. Pramad means laziness, which comes from moha, right? Laziness means we are not trying to find our own way of, that unique way of doing devotional service. There's some laziness, right? Sab ho jayega.
Is it because like we are following something but we have not found our own?
Yeah, I mean, as in homeopathy, right? Internal causes could be very, very complex. Which anarthas are mixing in which proportion, we do not know. Yeah. So, say we talked about blind bhakti. So this could be pramad, laziness, and moha, and celebrity devotion could be kama. But exactly which proportions, and are those only 6? You know, we talked about 6 enemies, but there are many, many also. Bhagavatam describes a whole family tree. They define the husband is adharm and the wife is like that, and the son and the daughter is mithya vacha, and so many things. The whole genealogy of anarthas. 6 anarthas is just convenient, but there are many, many anarthas. They combine together to give these forms. So I think better to meet these forms where they are. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah. Otherwise it will become too much paralysis by analysis also, that which anartha is there. Basically that we are taking these because it is very difficult to just grab those raw anarthas and treat. Oh Prabhu, I'm just working on my lobha. So maybe this is an alternative way to look at. Okay? Makes sense?
It does.
Okay.
You're right, like not doing the analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. Sometimes, okay, today let's see what is in our garbage. Low, calm. So then it's overwhelming. But we can see, the anarthas are combining together to produce this effect in our life, in which we forget the substance and just see the shadow. Just see the form, forget the substance. So this is an effect which is as a result of mixing of some anarthas. So instead of going there, I can hit where the symptoms are being shown. Does that make sense? Yeah. Who was? Go ahead.
In the one lecture I listened, Prabhupada is saying that Prabhupada just mentioned that Maya is very strong, and he caught everybody. Yeah, and in a mother womb, if anybody is means if we means unable to take the breath, if anybody put it in a tight bag, but if we have womb, then we are the safe for 9 months. Krishna mercy. So as you start doing the japa, then Maya can't do anything. But devotees, we are the devotee because we are doing the japa, or the pure heart or bad heart, whatever. But still, after first day, second day, third day, devotees suffer. Why? Why we are doing the japa? So what's the validity of that japa for 1 day, 2 day? So why Maya attack us? Why disturb us? Why we become lazy? Because we are doing japa. So second day, third day, why are we discharged?
Takes time to purify, right? It's not overnight process. We also don't do Shuddha Nam all the time. We are in Nama Aparadha stage. At least the prayer and hope is to do Nama Bhas. Nama
But
Bhas
it's say ना कि if we are doing the japa, चाहे हम प्यार से कर रहे हैं, चाहे द्वेष से कर रहे हैं, जिस भाव से भी कर रहे हैं, वो जपा हमें strength दे रहा है. So second day, why we suffer? If you are doing the japa, second japa, why japa is stopped?
we are still in the material consciousness. The process is given. It will take time for purification. And not only second day or third day, it may take more days. There are stories of people who have practiced with such intensity as well as their baggage was less. So they went to Bhagavad Prayan in 11 years of age. We talked about last time, Garud Govind Mandir, there is a Samadhi of Bhakta Om Prakash, Bal Bhakta Om Prakash. 11 days, 72 days he did his sadhana, went back to God. And his guru was still there on the planet. His guru was Narayan Swami. So if somebody does that utkat bhajan and the baggage is also less, well, ultimately also it is up to Krishna. Krishna may orchestrate some sufferings just to make the person realize so that he can help others who are going through those sufferings, isn't it? So there are many factors involved. Should we do that utkat bhajan? No, we should know our capacity also.
So what we put in our japa, so we are doing the 1 hour japa,
Yeah.
and we remember Krishna 23 hours more. So
That's
what
right,
what
right.
effort we put in our japa?
That's the ideal thing, that 22 hours should affect our japa and the japa should permeate our 22 hours. So it's a cyclic thing. Yeah. Thank you for this question. More? Yeah.
Prabhuji, in one of the answers to the question you mentioned that, I will only listen to my Guru and Prabhupada.
No, I said not only Guru and Prabhupada. Yeah. That meant like that. I said that I don't listen to any of my peers.
Yes.
Or God brothers
So
and
it can
things
be
like
two
that.
things, Prabhu. Either I'm too arrogant that I won't listen, or other is I only can connect to them because of their purity, whatever.
Yes.
So
I think we spoke about it. We all have our individual likings, favorites, inclinations, and it is totally allowed. Totally allowed to choose whichever lane. Yeah. And whichever person we connect to. So if it is the second reason, it's okay. We have to really go inside our heart that it is not Matsarya. No Matsarya cannot tolerate anybody else. And then really we won't be appreciating Srimad Bhagavatam. So इसलिए in our sadhaka stage सबको सुनने की आदत होनी चाहिए. What? सबको सुनने की आदत होनी चाहिए. So that at least we check inside our heart कि कुछ हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है. ठाकुर जी का मैसेज है. अब if there is somebody who is Mishthan Priya, right? He will eat from the shop of a person who has diabetes but selling Mishthan, or from the shop of a person who likes sweet and gives sweet. Do you get it?
yeah.
Somebody may not be following and saying, somebody may be following and saying, but सबको सुनने की आदत होनी चाहिए. Does that make sense? At least it's better in our situation to assume that we are still sadhakas, not siddhas. Does that make sense? Always a safe position. Like that story of whose beard is asli or nakli. Last time we didn't say that. So saint was there, he had a beard, he would go in the town, and then there was a dancing girl, she had a goat too had a beard. So she would ask daily, kiski dadi asli? She would ask, whose beard is for real? Your beard or my goat's beard? The saint would not answer. At his deathbed, he said, call that lady. And then he said, my beard is asli. Because now he is at deathbed, he has followed all the rules, so he can say, मैं बच गया. अब मैं कह सकता हूँ. Now I can say, it was real. The point of real thing is that she was trying to joke, कि are you for real or just having a beard just to show you are a saint? So he didn't answer. I am still not a saint. I am still a sadhaka. But when he was at deathbed, he said, now I can say that Old Spice. Did you get? It's a very profound story, which means always a sadhaka, never a siddha, always laghu, never a guru. I mean, you may get the duty of giving initiations, but thinking laghu. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Guru told him never initiate, and he initiated. His Guru gave the instruction. Never initiate, he initiated. And he said, I never considered them as my disciples. I consider them as my gurus, representatives. Prabhupada too considered that way. It's a tall order, but our acharyas have done it. And so that mood is always helpful. Always helpful. Does that make sense? Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, I have a question. Say, for example, we have someone who keeps chanting Hare Krishna all the time while doing his regular duties.
Yeah.
For example, okay, he wakes up, he starts chanting. He brushes his teeth, he starts chanting. He goes to office.
Person.
Yeah, he starts chanting while going to the office and taking during the breaks and coming back home and chanting. And either he's chanting or he's chanting inside his mind. All right, so throughout the day, and then he goes for a sleep. So what kind of devotion it is? Like, or is it even a devotion?
It's superlative devotion.
Okay.
It's very hard to chant whole day.
Okay.
There was a personality, his name was Akinchan Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj. He would chant whole day. He would stay only in 3 places, Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri. He would only preach to the preachers. He would only, not a whole big programs, but his was he would just go and spend time who are spreading the movement. Just spend time with them and keep chanting. He would chant 192 rounds a day, which if normal speed takes 21 hours, but those who are habituated can do it in 14 hours, 13, 14 hours like that. In Vrindavan, there are some saints. Every day 192. So now people said, in the mud, does nothing. Useless fellow. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, tell him something. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, take out an ad in the newspaper that we are allowing 24-hour chanters, we'll pay them. Nobody applied. It's actually a very superlative form of bhakti that somebody can get attracted to this most important limb of bhakti in Kali Yuga, which is chanting, and as attraction. Now, if he is marketing it, no, if he is, then there's a big problem. If he's not marketing by himself, doing so, even if it is pure and impure, in the sense it cannot be fully attentive all the time, naturally,
of course,
right?
Yeah.
Krishna also says, Arjuna, what? Mam anusmara yudhyacha. It's difficult. Attention will go and throw. Attention should go in shooting the arrows. Otherwise, somebody else may get killed. But still it is good. So hats off. If somebody is able to do that. Okay.
Thank
You
you.
understood why? Because it's a
Yeah.
superlative limber, and normally we do all the other activities during the day so that those 2 hours of whatever attentive chanting we are doing, even the rest of the day, if we murmur and chant whatever counted or uncounted rounds or kirtans or in the mind or in the bathroom or during cooking is for what? For normal, so that that chanting can happen during that 2 hours. How about if a person is doing whole day? I mean, he has to be mad for Krishna.
Okay.
In fact, you have touched a nerve, because in Braj we see it.
Prabhuji just
And we-
started coming to the temple like 2 weeks back.
Acha.
Started attending DYS.
Thank you for your very kind participation. I am saying you touch the nerve because this is a very common topic in holy places, right? Holy places, there are no malls. Right now, some malls are coming, like Chaat Ka Chaska, but generally there are no malls. So the life is very simple. All the things which you can get in the periphery. Sab sabji paas mein, dawaiyan paas mein. Now they have Blinkit. We're talking about it, right?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Blinkit, Zepto. Indians are all putting their brains into घर पे प्रमाद बढ़ाने के साधन. Appending the laziness, harnessing the laziness, right? So everything is available. Most of the people take then shelter of this limb of bhakti, which is chanting, and it helps. It magnifies the process. So it is said, after a person continues chanting with emotion and deeply for a very long period of time, a magical transformation may happen. And if you don't know this, you may find it very magical. It is called a japa jap. What? A japa jap. Now japa means jap. A japa means you are not doing it. Who is doing it then? What do you think? Harinam has put himself in your rag mein, as they say. Harinam has entered. So that involuntary jap goes on. It used to happen with Hanuman. They say from his every pore, Ram Dhwani is coming. What's that? Ajapa jap. Mula Prakriti Mataji, a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, narrates a story about our dear Srila Prabhupada. That Prabhupada was sitting and he was dealing with a cement. Take that cement, take this cement and build that. And the journalist was telling, something wrong? He is a spiritual person, he should be chanting Hare Krishna. Swamiji, chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada, don't bother me. He is working, temple has to be built. Finally, this is what Mataji said. Prabhupada said, come behind my back, like that. Come behind my seat. And he came there and he put his ear to Prabhupada's back, and what he was hearing? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Prabhupada was talking about cement. What was that? The holy name has taken over. It is possible in all our lives also. But practice, before that, priority. Actually, we can do. Like the Madhukar Shah, right? Ghanta every 10 minutes. Amazing, right? Every 5 minutes alarm. Jaagte raho, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It's amazing. So does that help you?
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So just to continue what the nerve you're saying, so chanting constantly can only happen when we get what we call taste in chanting. So what is that? How does that taste look like? Is it like you're eating sugar cane or something sweet? Or?
I don't know. Because I don't have. We should ask the saints who have it. Or in fact, those who are coming for the... See, generally, those devotees or those who are entering spiritual life, beginning, they are at Nama Bhas. Nama Prad is not there. After a while, we know everything about everybody, right? So, lot of apradhas. So, naturally, we slide down to Nama Prad. So, first time when folks chant, right? oh, Ravindra Sarup Prabhu went to a Christian seminary called Charles Borromeo Sanctuary Seminary, and there were all these Christian missionaries who were it was a GBC college of that diocese, and he made them chant Hare Krishna mantra. And Ravindra Sarup Prabhu writes in his Back to Godhead article, what a chant! Because they were open people, not any sense of Nama Prad, right? Vishnu is same and all those things. So they chant with faith, and that generates the taste. But what happens as a result of apradhas? Whatever that free samples of bliss we would have gotten gets covered over. What's the solution? Certainly, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling in this song, that Namer Balai Chede Re. We strive our best to get rid of the offenses, but okay, we pray to holy name. Holy name will start doing the magic, right? Actually, it is holy name which is doing the magic, that it is mercifully coming on our tongue, right? So it will do, and sometimes it happens, right? Some of the days we feel like hawaएं चल रही हैं. Everything is so smooth, and some days it is really a struggle. The 5-minute round becomes a 20-minute round. So, which means continue like that.
And when someone is doing more japa, they got a darshan of Radharani. They're talking, I listen, someone is talking, they got a
No, I didn't get the premise. What did you say?
So just doing regular 64 rounds
Huh.
tonight.
And they got
Rounds giving
darshan?
Mataji, yeah, they're saying this, the Radharani. Like that I listen by side. Someone is saying no, so means like that way. Someone is doing japa and just sit near the Yamuna. They're doing this, young girls doing the seva.
Yes.
They got
Yes.
many flavor, they taste that.
But it's not
It's
only
more
a...
than sugarcane and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Many you mentioned, Prabhu,
Good.
so
Okay.
very, very beyond that.
Yeah. So she's saying that the taste is beyond the sugar cane. It's vada pav.
It's like the Krishna beauty is beyond everything.
Absolutely.
So the menu is beyond that.
Absolutely. But I just want to interject and say that it's not about chanting more or chanting less. Guru has given us something, right? Srila Prabhupada has given 16 rounds, 4 regulative principles, which means it's fully power packed. Well, if you want to chant more, great, minimum 16 rounds, so we can do it. But if Prabhupada has said, which means it has the potency, right? Otherwise, why would Prabhupada say it? He's an acharya. So that has potential to give us whatever we aspire for. Swarup Damodar, Gaur Govind Maharaj would say, and he realized his spiritual form also, he said, everything is revealed. Everything was revealed in that way. Gaur Govind. Okay, more questions, thoughts, comments, reflections, or we end? Okay.
Just one comment though.
Yes.
I don't know whether this is the right question, but
In the question, comment.
I mean, the comment could lead to a question, so depending on how you interpret it. So I know I have 4 defects, right? Cheating propensity, imperfect senses, then illusion, and then making mistakes, right? So when you talk about these 4 disease devotions, right, and the remedy and the cure you have given, so when we follow those 4 cure or the remedies, then will it address also those 4 imperfect, I mean those defects I have?
Somehow should be getting purified, which means again we are hitting the symptoms, trying to purify it. Hope is that the causes will also go. Thank you.
That's what my understanding was, but I will do something.
Okay, so if we are very late, we can ask one more.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So we have been trained very hard to do multitasking.
We have been trained very hard to do
Multitasking.
Trained hard.
And from at least the generation we had, from our parents too. So doing one thing at one time wasn't good enough. Do more. What else you can do, right? So that might come into bhakti as well.
Yeah.
So when you were talking about finding that one thing you're good at, and the 9 process of bhakti, we have Shravanam, Kirtanam, and then chanting as well.
Not only the 9 process,
Yeah.
some specific channel of our devotional
Right.
expression. Yes.
So how do you identify what are you good at?
I think we spoke about it, right? Looking at your natural aptitudes, swabhava, talking with somebody, finding the Jambavan in your life, and having the conversation, and then just trying it out. If it doesn't work, try something else. Fail fast. So we have to try, we have to talk, we have to see what's our aptitude also. Maybe we'll try something for 5 years, doesn't work, then another 5 years we'll try something else. Yeah? And it becomes hard in multitasking also. So which means, at least for some time, what we have chosen, we stick to it. That's very important. Does that make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji. And how do you do the opposite? Like,
Not finding the channel, like opposite in the sense?
As in being happy with what you're doing.
so there was one thing you mentioned saying,
Which one? Celebrity devotion?
I think I lost my question. I'll
No,
talk
we can
tomorrow
talk offline.
on Thursday. Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, offline also.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Q. Speak about this.
So Prabhu has a very nice book,
Hare Krishna. They can read behind and like.
The Forest of Love. So should I read this?
Okay, I'll explain. This is a green chutney. You might like it. It's a novel historical fiction. The heroes are the Goswamis of Vrindavan, Birambir, Queen Sulochana, Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur. But in order to tell their lives in a dramatic manner, a fictitious story has been carved out where a seeker is finding himself. So at one level, we'll get to know about our history in a much more deeper researched manner. There are references also given in bibliography behind like the original Parsi farmans which were written by Mughals and Rajputanas. So using them we have carved out a story, and of course there is also life of a seeker with which you can relate with. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
His Grace Harivamsa Prabhu ki.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON Seattle Bhaktagण ki. Healthy devotion ki.
If anyone wants the book, Prabhu is here, so you can take the book from Prabhu or get it signed also from Prabhu if you want.